So we were not posting videos regularly. From this week, we'll be receiving videos every week, and we also got a feedback that we were not replying to the emails properly. So we will do that as well. We apologize for the inconvenience. And in this video, I'm going to explain you one of other basic thing called what is a builder pattern, which is also important when it's come to learning in Open. So what is a builder pattern? There are different kinds of patterns available in case of development. So if you see, we have our own NX. We have few parts that we are using. For example, this one. So if I take one feature out of it, this feature is created by something called pattern. So what is the pattern? That we will see in the documentation as well. I'll show that in the documentation. So the pattern is nothing but it says that it has different variables inside it. So you set this variable at different places and then commit at other place. It's called builder pattern as per my understanding. So what does that mean? For extrude, if you want to use extrude, then there is a builder. As I explained in the older videos, we have something called extrude builder, right? We'll go to the documentation, and then from there we will see where we can how we can able to see it. So here is the documentation that I am using for NX2350, sorry, 2506, and this is a C++ documentation, but we'll be using this for our this demo. Here I have already created a this block feature builder, but in our case it's a extrude feature. So there must be something with the name extrude builder. If you see here, it is over here. Extrude builder. I searched by pressing Ctrl F in my keyboard. So if you see this, I'll close this. So if you see this, these are the functions and variables available in this method. So if you go to this builder and then see this, it will give you all the specific functions that belongs to this builder, and this also inherits some of the properties or some of the variables from other builders as well, because that's how inheritance works. So this is actually inherited to this feature builder. It also inherits some properties from builder class. It's also inherits some properties from tagged object class. So if you see this here, this from tagged object, it is inheriting the tag method, for example. And then in builder we had it inherits commit method, and then so on. If you want to see it as a pictorial representation, it is over here. So NX extrude builder is inheriting certain properties from feature builder, and also not certain properties, all the public member variables from feature builder and also from builder, and then it's also from tagged object. So this is how the structure looks like. So what does this mean? So this what I want to explain here is here we have different kinds of methods and variables. You set all the what are the methods and variables that we want to set, and then we commit. Once we commit, it goes and fetch all the values and then does the action. So if you compare it with the documentation here, you see here we have extrude, and then extrude has all different variables, and then here if you see we have all different variables over here as well. So this is how you need to compare and understand how a builder pattern works. So this is a very good example for a builder pattern. We also have singleton pattern. We have different kinds of patterns available in programmatic world. We are also using few of these patterns in our design. We can use our own design patterns as well, or we can use these methods to implement. But if you want to implement uh, any of the builders, then any of the extrude or any of the features from NX using NX Open, then we need to use the builder pattern because that was the recommended way, which is suggested by Siemens development team. So this is one point that I would like to clarify. And we also, if you will also post this link to this website. But if in order to use this, you need to have a web key. You need to have a account. So this if you click on this website, it might not take you, but it might not allow you to view this document. But if you create a website account, then it will allow you to see the documentation. And as I said before, here we have all all the things that what we see. Most of this were using the builder pattern. So anything that used to create a data is used by builder pattern. And as I explained in the previous videos, if you can also use this builder pattern not only to create object, you can also read objects into it. So if you have doubts into that, you can refer to the my previous videos. So this is the explanation about the builder pattern. And the other point that I want to explain here is we have one more way of writing codes. Um, the way is since this is all this are C++ codes. The documentation what we see here is belongs to C++, but this is a very good place to start on to understand how the documentation works. So we this is C++. Before coming into C++, they have also wrote some applications into C. So and they moved from C to C++. So this is the latest documentation. We have also we can still use C codes using the C sharp by that's called wrapper function. So here is the documentation overview about the C. So how we are going to use, I'll explain this in this video as well. But this is a documentation. As you can see, there are different kinds of modules available. This I would say not a module. This is kind of APIs that are grouped together, belongs to certain things. For example, if you want to get all the APIs belongs to drafting, then here you have all the drafting APIs available. So you can check this. You can, if you click here, it will tell you what this method does and what is the previous version, what is the modification they have done, and what is the input and what would be the output. In this case, it is an input, and it also gives the same as output. So I'll open some other API. For example, this guy here. If you see, it says what is the input and what are the outputs and what it gives you back. So now this is a C API and how we are using this C API into our project. So I will open my session. This is the same session that we were using from the beginning of the video. And in the first videos, I explained you we need to add this UF file, UF file. So this UF file has all the wrapper functions that belongs to C codes or I would say UFUNC APIs. So if you see here, when I have this program.cs file, in this CS file, we have something called UF session, right? So this UF session will have all the APIs that we just now saw, or all the classes that are together, gathered together and kept it here. So I'll go back to the main menu, and here if you see we have all the methods available. And let's say I want to access some method from the model. Yeah, and I can go here and I can access this directly from I can access this method using this UF session. So if you see this UF session, this has got initialized in this UF session dot get UF session. So this is an example of singleton function. What is a singleton function? It is a quick overview would be you create it on one place and then access it towards the whole project or throughout the project. You can access it. You can use this session dot get session will give you only one object. It will not create you. It will not create different objects. It will create only one object and then send it to you as you create the class or as you create the project. So if you want to access it now, I'll explain you how to access a quick overview. We'll be digging deeper into it in the upcoming videos, but for now, this is how we do it. For example, we just check that we have an module, and this module is actually sorry, let me go back. So here, go make main menu. So you see here, these are called UF underscore model. Yeah, this is what we want to access something from the model. So we found some APIs. Let's say object types. We want to get some. These are the object types available. I'll go to object class instead of object type. Give me a second. I might be back to main menu. So if I want to access all the methods inside objects, then it is called UF objects. Let's say I'm going to delete an object or ask name of an object. So here, if I click this, it says UF ask object name. So you can access this also in this class. I will keep it side by side so that it would be easier for us for us to go through. So here, if you see, we have the UF object, and if I say I want to get access objects of this, so I typed obj, okay, and here you see this, there is a class with the name obj. If I click here or type or dot, then I'll get all the methods accessible here. In wrapper function, you will get most of the functions. Some of the functions were not used because these methods are deprecated or moved out of NX because due to the development or due to the issues that is existing in the existing API. So you will not find all the methods, but you will find most of the methods. And here what we were using ask name. So I'm going to type ask name. So this method will give me the name of the object. So if as I click here, it tells me, it gives me a definition. By the name we can find, you pass an object and then ask a name for it. So it gives the name. So what does it needs? The input is a tag, and the output it is a character pointer. In C it is a character pointer. In C sharp it is a string. So you pass the input and then you'll get the output as a tag or a string. So for now I don't have an object or any tag that I have with me, but this will, for example, let's say I have somehow found a tag. Um, it's, we cannot pass a null tag and then ask for a tag dot null and then string, and then we'll call it as name, and we'll assign to a empty string. So we need to pass it as an input. If you have a mouse, it says input as a tag object, and the output is a name. So I'll pass this object as input. Oh, sorry, it's empty. And then in we need to type out, because in C# we will be using out as the out parameter or output from the method. So I'll explain in the upcoming video what are the different types available in this, and then what are the different ways of reading input and output out of a method, and I'll also explain you how to debug this code. For now, this is a general overview of how things works using UFUNC APIs. It's not advisable to use UFUNC APIs in a huge manner. You can use it for a small, for here and there. You can use it, but for the whole development process, it's good to use NX Open. NX Open is a recommended one because I was informed that they are going to stop support for UFUNC in near future.